You know that feeling, right? When you see something so beautiful, it just makes your heart jump? Maybe it's a flash of color, a perfect sunset. Well, today we're diving into a short poem that absolutely nails that feeling. It's a vibrant, curious journey into just 9 simple lines that, believe me, hold a universe of meaning. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began, so is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old, or let me die. The child is father of the man, and I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural piety. It kicks off with something we all get, that sudden, pure joy from a simple moment in nature. The poet is tapping into this really universal experience, a powerful feeling he says has been with him his entire life. So this poem was written over 200 years ago by William Wordsworth, but it's not just about rainbows. No, it's this really powerful statement about holding on to that childlike sense of wonder for the natural world, a feeling that he says connects every single stage of our lives. And the passion here is just, wow. Let's look at that sixth line again, or let me die. I mean, that is an extreme statement. It just shows you how deep his reverence for nature goes. For the speaker, a life without this awe, this wonder, isn't even a life worth living. This isn't just simple appreciation, it's essential to his very being. But okay, beyond that incredible joy, the poem drops this one famous line that has puzzled readers for literally centuries. It's a paradox, and it sits right at the heart of the poem. This is what takes it from a simple nature poem to something much, much more profound. The child is father of the man. Just let that sink in for a second. It sounds completely impossible, right? A total reversal of the natural order of things. How on earth can a child be a father to an adult? This right here, this is the core puzzle we're going to solve together. What in the world did Wordsworth mean by this strange, unforgettable line? Come on, let's break it down. So to figure this out, we need to put on our detective hats. The clues aren't just in the words themselves, but in how the poem was actually built. We're going to start by looking at its history and its very specific structure. Get this, we can pinpoint the exact moment of creation. Wordsworth wrote this on the night of March 26, 1802. And what's incredible is that the very next day, this tiny poem became the spark for one of his most famous and ambitious works, the ode Intimations of Immortality. He even used the last 3 lines of this poem to kick off that bigger one. Now for the rhythm. Most of the poem is written in something called iambic tetrameter. Don't let that fancy term scare you. It's basically just a pattern of 4 beats per line. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. It's a rhythm that actually mimics the steady, natural beat of a heart. Pretty cool, huh?
But here's where Wordsworth gets really clever. He breaks his own pattern for one single crucial line. See that exception? Or let me die. It only has 2 beats. That makes the line feel shorter, sharper, it really stands out. And that's completely intentional. It's a brilliant way a poet can use rhythm to add this powerful, almost startling emphasis to his most passionate statement.
Okay, let's peel back the next layer. We've looked at the structure. Now let's get into the deeper symbols. Because that rainbow, it's not just a pretty arc of color in the sky. Not by a long shot. Yeah, that rainbow is packed with meaning. For centuries, it's been a biblical symbol of God's promise, God's covenant with humanity. But for Wordsworth, it also represents the continuity of his own self, the fact that the same thing that filled him with joy as a kid still does it for him as a man. And some people even think it's a symbol of his poetic gift, a gift that totally depends on him staying connected to that childhood wonder. So, now we can finally solve that paradox. The child is father of the man. Of course, he doesn't mean a literal father. What Wordsworth is saying is that our childhood self, with all its experiences, its curiosity, its capacity for wonder, is the foundation for the adult we become. Our youth literally fathers our maturity. He's making this powerful case that the best parts of us are forged in childhood, and we should fight to keep that spirit alive. But wait, what if there's one more hidden layer? Let's look at the very last word of the poem, piety. We usually think of it as religious devotion, but a really clever theory suggests Wordsworth might have been playing a brilliant little mathematical game with us. Now, this is just fascinating. Wordsworth loved geometry. He knew that a rainbow is an arc of a circle, and the number used to calculate a circle's properties is, of course, pi. So, could natural piety be a pun on a state of pi? It's this brilliant way to connect reverence for nature's beauty to the infinite, unending qualities of a circle, and the number pi itself. It's like a secret nod to infinity.
So why does this 200-year-old poem about a rainbow still matter so much? Well, it turns out its message is probably more relevant today than ever before, especially when you look at it through a modern lens.
To really get its modern power, we can use a specific lens called ecocriticism. Don't worry, it's simpler than it sounds. It's just a way of reading literature that focuses on our relationship with the environment. It asks how texts, like this very poem, shape how we see and think about the natural world. At its heart, eco-criticism challenges our human-centered worldview and pushes us towards biocentrism, the idea that all life has value. It encourages a kind of deep ecology, this profound respect for nature, where humans aren't the masters of the world, but just one part of a huge interconnected system. And this is exactly why it matters so much right now. The poems call for reverence, for natural piety, for recognizing our deep connection to the environment. It resonates perfectly with today's urgent conversations about climate change and our impact on the planet. It's a 200-year-old call to responsibility. For over 200 years, this short 9-line poem has carried a powerful and timeless message. Find joy in nature, remember the wonder you felt as a child, and carry that reverence with you through your entire life. So I'll just leave you with this question. Wordsworth had his rainbow. What about you? What is it in the natural world that makes your heart leap up?